The government is busy getting the sheep ready for the slaughter. The white sheep and the black sheep. The slaughter is the imperialist war. The black sheep are the Negroes. Now all who read our paper know our stand on this question. The war is Wall Street's war. The workers must oppose it in all forms. The immediate fight is on conscription. The Negroes, who more than any other people in the world know that a thundering lie capitalist democracy is, must join every organized attempt of the working class to block, impede, and prevent this monstrous tyranny that the capitalists want to impose on us. No conscription. Down with conscription. Conscription by the capitalist class is only a way of forcing the workers to die for capitalist profits after working all their lives for the same criminal and demoralizing purpose. We are against conscription. But Negroes, oppressed as always, have not only got to fight the general fight for all workers, but have special difficulties of their own. And the situation has been somewhat complicated by the vigorous fight that the Pittsburgh Courier and several organizations are carrying on for equal rights in the Army, Navy, and Air Force for Negroes. The question therefore faces the Negroes: are we against conscription? The answer comes from 12 million throats: yes. But then comes the second question: are you for equal rights in the Army and Navy? And the reply must unhesitatingly be yes. There is not the slightest contradiction there. When the capitalist keeps the Negro out of the Navy, does not want him to be an officer in the Army, does not want him to learn to fly, he is carrying on the class struggle against the Negroes in particular and the working class in general. First, he makes the white workers feel that they are superior to the Negroes, and by doing so, he divides them not only in the Army and other military forces, but he divides them in the factory as well. Now, just since we're talking about work, got a call from a Moor today, and the Moor was explaining about how when he was at work last night, and the manager, the supervisor, the GM, and somebody else came out, right? Made everybody stop working to talk about the shooting stuff. And black people got to stay together, whatever. So, you know, the Moor's there. The Moor's like, oh, what the hell is this crap? Like, I know I'm getting paid right now, but like I'm not trying to hear this BS right now. What's wrong with you? Why are you whatever like that, right? So the manager and the supervisor are Asiatics, and then no, the manager is an Asiatic, the supervisor and the GM are Europeans. So after the manager comes, calls everybody together or whatever like that, you know, the Moor does the roll eyes. Manager's like, yo, like, what's up with you? Like, why are you rolling your eyes? This is not important to you, blah, blah. You know, black guys, you know what I mean, get emotional, right, as usual, right? So he's straight telling his manager, like, for the record, I'm not black. So whatever you're talking about does not apply to me. You can't say that you're not black. Me and you look together, we look the same, and all this stuff like that, whatever like that, you know what I mean? He's like, sorry, I'm not co-signing onto black. Leave me out of it. And go over here, go work. GM comes in now. I think I hear my phone ringing. Takes off. Manager's threatening him about, I should send you home or whatever because you don't respect black, whatever. He's like, well, you can attempt to send me home, but because I'm not black and because I reserved my rights on the contract that you guys gave me when you hired me, I have a right to be here. And you really can't send me home like that. Rest of the night, he was public enemy number one all night by everybody that was Asiatic up in there. Right? Secondly, he knows that the Negroes are bitter against the fraud of capitalist democracy, and he does not want them to use arms and have positions of authority in military matters. Finally, he wants to keep the Negroes in a state of subordination with a feeling of inferiority. Right? So not only are quote-unquote blacks subordinate, but because of that subordinate mindset that they have, it also made them create this inferiority amongst the class of Asiatic people, where they don't feel worthy for anything. Anything that comes up that's a challenge, or, you know what I mean, in disagreement with them, they turn passive. They always turn passive. And passivity kills revolutions. Passive people, people who choose to be victim instead of be victor, always slow down the progress of a great people. Because the passive people always look at the great people like the great people aren't them. That's why Yahshua came out and told people, you're gonna do greater stuff than I could do. What are you talking about? I'm the whatever. You're gonna do greater stuff than I did. But no, people are passive and subordinate, so they didn't do great things. They became slaves to other nations. Right? So brother Cyril Lionel Robert James, just look him up. His older pictures will make you know who he is. Young pictures, you might not really get it, but check the older pictures when he has his gray hair, afro and stuff like that. You'll know exactly who he is. Right? CLR James. King Alfred Plan. There are 12 major minority organizations, and all are familiar to the 22 million. Dossiers have been compiled on the leaders of the organizations and can be studied in Washington. The material contained in many of the dossiers and our threat to reveal that material has considerably held in check the activities of some of the leaders. Leaders who do not have such usable material in their dossiers have been approached to take government posts, mostly as ambassadors and primarily in African countries. The promise of these positions also has materially contributed to a temporary slowdown of minority activity. However, we do not expect these slowdowns to be of long duration, because there are always new and dissident elements joining these organizations with the potential power to replace the old leaders. All organizations and their leaders are under 24-hour surveillance, constant. Infiltrated organizations under surveillance: the Black Muslims, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, Congress of Racial Equality, Uru Movement, Group on Advanced Leadership, Freedom Now Party, United Black Nationalists of America, the New Pan-African Movement, the National Urban League, the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, Committee on Racial and Religious Progress. Note: at the appropriate time to be designated by the President, the leaders of some of these organizations are to be detained only when it is clear that they cannot prevent the emergency, working with local public officials during the first critical hours. Right? So the first critical hours are local police and minority leaders in action to head off the emergency. Countdown to 8 hours begins at the moment the president determines the emergency to be national, coordinated, or of long duration. So when they're doing all these special ops training, whatever, in Florida, right? That people could go to and watch. You go, wow, special forces are training why are special forces training in Florida? Like why are they training here? Like, is there some kind of threat here that they're training for? Because special forces usually have some type of, somewhere where they go to train. They don't just train in the open, everybody to watch. So when the president realizes that the leaders of these organizations cannot head off the emergency in the countdown to the 8 hours of the president determining that the emergency is whatever, national, coordinated, or whatever, those leaders are going to be detained at once. Now that's the first people that they're putting in the camp. The black leaders, who you people have been following under the guise of they're for your best interest. They're not for your best interest. King Alfred Plan is letting you know that they work for the other side. They're not generalizing. They're specific. Black leaders. They're letting you know who these individuals are. And the black leaders are the ones who've been calling you black. Who's talking about unconstitutional rights that don't even exist. Compiled lists of minority leaders have been readied at the National Data Computer Center. It is necessary to use the minority leaders designated by the president in much the same manner in which we use minority members who are agents with central and federal. And we cannot, until there is no alternative, reveal King Alfred in all its aspects. So we want you to know what's coming. So we're going to tell you what's coming, so you can see that it's coming before it comes, so you can prepare yourself. Now, as well, keep in mind, preliminary memo, Department of Defense. This memo is being submitted in lieu of a full report from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That report is now in preparation. There will be many cities where the minority will be able to put into the street a superior number of people with a desperate and dangerous will. Now, you've seen the stuff. You've seen all the Negroes gathering around. You've seen all the blacks, coloreds, or whatever like that, coming together, get their anger, energy up, or whatever like that. Desperate and dangerous will. He will be a formidable enemy, for he is bound to the continent by heritage, and knows, well, he doesn't know, because they think that some African country is going to come out of the bushes to help them. They don't know that they're on their own. They don't know that, like we said, everybody thinks black people are savages, so nobody respects them, and nobody has any intentions of helping them, assisting them, doing anything relative to helping them get out of this mess that they got themselves into for following these black leaders who are being used in the same manner as they use minority members who are agents.